Hello, and welcome to Japanese Craft Beer Reviews. From time to time, we like to take a trip outside of the islands of Japan and go to another country and try their beer. And today is such a day. We're going to go to a country which is perhaps not as visited as many countries in that part of the world are, and that is Estonia. And we're going to look at a beer from this brewery, which is Põhjala. And Põhjala is located in the capital, Tallinn, of Estonia. And the beer we're going to look at is, this one is called Porridge Bullet. And I will talk about that in a minute. But first, a little bit about Põhjala. And they, again, are located in the capital of Estonia. And Estonia is in the northern region of Europe and Russia, right next to Russia and close to Norway and to Sweden, and so it's considered a Baltic country. And Põhjala started in 2011, and it was founded by 4 beer enthusiasts and homebrewers. And I think within the first year they were quickly joined by a brewer from Scotland who had worked at Brewdog, who said he became their head brewer. And we've got a lot of pictures of Estonian features here, I think. And they brewed their first beer in 2013, and they built their first brewery in 2014, and very quickly became popular, and their capacity quadrupled within the first 2.5 years. And they've done a lot of collaborations with many breweries around the world, and they've become quite well known. I've had, I think, 4 beers from them in the past, but we don't see them very, very often, and they can be quite expensive. And what their basic modus operandum is to take a well-known style and put their own twist on it by adding some unusual ingredients, barrel aging, trying to use something that is part of Estonian cuisine, perhaps, or Nordic culture, that sort of thing. And Põhjala, by the way, means Nordic in Estonian. So we're going to take a look at this beer, and first let me tell you a little bit about Põhjala's beers. They have a core series, and they consist of mainly lagers, IPAs, and Weiss beers. They make specials, which are experimental styles, and they try to try to cover a wide range of styles and beer trends in that series. They have a cellar series, which is their barrel-aged beers. And then they have what's called a forest series, and they use botanicals or forest ingredients, or items from folk medicine, Estonian folk medicine, herbal techniques, herbal ingredients, and they use older techniques as well for that. So some examples might be a use of smoked mushrooms in a porter, or using birch bark, juniper, spruce in some of their beers. So again, a core series, and then specials, experimental beers, cellar series, barrel aged, and forest series, which is trying to take advantage of the forest environment and the forest culture of Estonia. Okay, so this beer, again, is called Porridge Bullet, and they call it multigrain barrel-aged breakfast ale. Of course, they probably know about breakfast stouts and things like that. I don't know, how often do you have beer for breakfast? Never in my case. But this is an American strong ale, 11.9%, so it's up there. 55 IBUs, International Beering Units. And on Rate Beer, there are 196 ratings, and the average is 4.0 out of 5, so pretty high. Untapped, 3,302 ratings when I checked, and the average is 4.2, higher. So, and the The barrel-aged multi-grain breakfast ale is the multi-grain part. Let's take a look at that quickly. There are 4 types of grains. They have barley, they have wheat, they have rye, and they have oats. So the malts consist of pale malt, biscuit, Cara 10, chocolate, Cara 300 melanoid, Cara 150, Carafa Special T2, and Special B. Also roasted rye and lactose are included here. The hops include Magnum, Columbus, First Gold, and Northern Brewer. And so this is kind of a packed beer, a lot going on in it. Maybe too much. We will see. We'll find out. Okay. And I should tell you, this beer is well beyond its best by date, which was 2021, November 19th. And we are sitting at, today is May 9th, 2023. So this is definitely a year and a half over its best by date. However, it is 11.9% and it has a lot of dark malts, so those 2 features may help it age or survive the aging period a little bit better. So we'll see though, and I am kind of wondering how well it has held up. Okay, so let's give this one a go. You can see it does have a wax top, and I'm going to stop here for a second and get rid of this here. I'm not a big fan of wax tops. I know they do seal the beer and they do look cool. Someone said that breweries can charge, you know, an extra amount because they wax it, but in any case, it does look nice. But okay, we got the wax off the top and opened her up. Yeah, I wonder how long they barrel aged this. I didn't find any information on that. Generally, a brewer will say we aged this for X number of months or something like that, but I didn't find that for this beer. So we're going to give this a go. Again, it's called Põhjala Porridge Bullet. Okay, and it is pitch black, or pitch brown, as I like to say. It's not really black, but it has almost no head. And let's see if we get any legs out of here. Let's see if they will form eventually. Okay, let's try the aroma. Okay, right away. It does taste a little bit aged. I won't say oxidized so much, but lightly aged. I do get chocolate, definitely roast malt, some whiskey, vanilla, dark fruit, and definitely some fumes, alcohol fumes. Maybe something like berries as well. Would go in with the dark fruit, perhaps. Yeah, very pleasant. Some people said they got coconut from this, and I'm not getting that so much. Okay, and flavor? Very roasty. Very roasty, very fruity. I get a hint of coffee, chocolate for sure. Quite warmy. Definitely get the barrel. Whiskey, yeah, I guess. It doesn't seem to be terribly whiskey-ish, but certainly it's definitely got the spirits from the barrel in there. Maybe some light ash as well. Again, dark fruit. Maybe some raisins in there. Not prunes, it's not that strong, but raisins. It is rather intense. I think it has mellowed with age, perhaps. Let this warm up for a bit. Come back in a second. Okay, I do, with a little bit of time, I'm getting a little bit more ashiness on the tongue, in the palate, in the aftertaste. So normally with some beers you might feel a kind of, hoppy, kind of bitter tracks here. I'm getting kind of ashy sort of tracks with this one. Yeah. Maybe a hint of lactose as well in there. Kind of coating in the tongue. This is a nice beer. I think it probably would have been better maybe a couple of years ago or so. It is, again, it's a year and a half past its best by date, but hasn't suffered terribly. But it probably would have been better, a little bit fresher in any case. Once again, this is called Põhjala Porridge Bullet, and as I say again, it's a barrel-aged or multi-grain barrel-aged breakfast ale. I don't think I'll have it for breakfast. In fact, I may not be able to finish the whole bottle tonight. I may cap it up and save it for later. It is, again, 11%, 55 international bitter units. It was 11.9%. So kind of a big beer. Full of flavor, full of ingredients, and it really does come out in the flavor. There's a lot of complexity here. So go to Põhjala's website. I'll put a link to it in the description, and check out all the various beers they have. For me, their specials, these experimental beers, and their forest series, really quite unusual things that they're doing with beer, and quite successfully as well. If you can find Põhjala, you may want to give them a go, and I hope you do. Okay, well, that is it for today. Take care, stay healthy, bye-bye.